December the 26th, and I'm on the drier side of the Cascade Range, looking to close out the month of December chasing ducks over here. It is also the last full week of the year 2021, and it's just a special time to be over here. It's always important to be careful what you wish for. I have been wishing for winter weather to arrive all season, and it is finally here. Right now outside there's a wicked north wind. It's probably 15 to 20 miles per hour. It's in the teens outside, and in the morning it is forecasted to be in the single digits. In fact, all week we are supposed to have a massive historic Arctic air mass kind of move into the region over the Pacific Northwest and dump a bunch of snow on the west side of the Cascades and bring frigid sub-zero temperatures on both sides, especially over here. If I was reading the forecast correctly, by the end of the week it is supposed to drop down into the negative digits. So I'm kind of a little nervous, a little scared. The conditions are definitely deadly outside if you're not ready for them. So that means I got to be extra careful in how I go about all the hunting this week. I do have layers. I have a down jacket, I have a wool jacket, I have plenty of warm hats, I have plenty of warm gloves, waterproof gloves, and it's really important that you stay dry. I hope I do not go for any swims this week. So there should be a lot of birds around. Weather like this tends to focus them into certain areas. Some water will get frozen up and locked up with thick ice, where other areas, will remain open if it's big water or moving water. There will definitely be birds there. Just hope that the cold weather doesn't push them all out. Conditions, I predict, should hopefully just get better as the week goes on. So, trying to make December end with a bang. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Am I crazy or what? Driving over mountain passes in this weather to go hunting. See if it's worth it. That is a lot of mallards and bluebills and all kinds of ducks on the Columbia River. A whole swath of them hiding from the north wind. Well, good morning to a very frigid Monday. 2 problems already this morning. I'm all set up, but the wind has died down, and as I speak, my decoys are icing up. The water is freezing, and I'm gonna have to move. It's not gonna work. And I just put all that effort to putting all those decoys out. So I gotta go find more swifter water. I thought this would be good enough, but it's just too cold. This was all open water an hour ago when I set these out. Alright, well, I decided to stick it out here. The wind picked up again out of the northeast. The sun has come up, it's warmed up a tad, and the decoys are free floating. My gun was not working this morning. It was misfiring quite a bit. It wasn't shooting at all, actually. I just think it was frozen. So I worked the bolt a little bit. I took it apart, put it back together. It's working fine now. All the birds left the area in the morning, but they're starting to come back now. And this pair of geese flying over really high. I started clucking at them. They went way out over there and then slowly made their way back. And I clucked them right into the decoys. That was awesome. They just about landed and I doubled, killed them both. And that right there makes up for the day, right? It was a pretty hard morning, and this was redemption. I missed quite a bit. I didn't have very good luck this morning until this. So I'm hoping maybe I can get 2 more Canada geese and be limited. This one here is definitely just a giant, giant gronk. And this one here isn't as big, but they came right in. It was awesome. Day number 1 is in the bag, and it ended up being pretty darn good for being as slow as it was. As I said before, in the morning I was rethinking my decision. The pond was icing up as I was watching it, and the Benelli was just too cold. It wasn't shooting that well. But all of that got fixed. The sun came up, thawed out the pond a tad. The Benelli started cycling the rounds, and the ducks started falling from the sky. Getting these 2 geese was definitely a huge boost to my morale. Called them right in, killed them right over the decoys. Most of the action definitely happened in the last 2 hours. I went from having 2 ducks to getting my limit just a few minutes ago. I ended up with 2 green-winged teal, a drake widgeon, and 4 gadwalls. 3 of the 4 gadwalls are nice drakes. It's still cold enough to freeze any liquid water immediately here, and any bare skin left showing in the elements turns numb pretty quickly. The wind definitely was switching out of the north, northeast, northwest today. Despite the sun being out, it was still very, very cold, and it's not going to let up at all week. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. No mallards today. They all evaded me. They're just now starting to move, but I do have a couple spots picked out where I watched them going down today. So hopefully I can go set up there tomorrow and do just as well. And here's a closer look at the limit for today. Got some very nice gadwalls in there, some of the nicest drakes of the season. I always love getting Eastern Washington widgeon. You don't see very many of them over here, but that one came right in. I think I captured that one on film. The rest of them were all pretty hard to shoot with the camera, so you get the aftermath yet again. Got a nice drake green-winged teal there. I always love getting those. And then the prize for the day were those 2 that came right into the decoys. Nothing but clucks, just fast clucks, loud clucks over and over and over again. They couldn't resist. Came right into the deeks. After a long day of hunting in extreme cold, the decoys get sheened and covered with blocks of ice. And it's a good idea when you get back to your place at night, throw them in the shower and let them thaw out. Let all the ice melt off, and they will look a lot better in the morning when you continue the hunt. Look at how ice encrusted the aquapod is. Solid clumps, and I broke a lot of it off today to keep the boat balanced. It was actually getting unbalanced with all the ice freezing on the sides and the bow. And I might pull this in the room tonight too and let it thaw off as well. Insane. Good morning. It is day number 2, and I'm back out in the marshes of eastern Washington. A very frozen, frigid morning. I think it's a tad bit colder today than what it was yesterday. It snowed again last night, and the wind is still out of the north, 10 to 12 miles per hour. Kind of dies down, kind of picks up, and there's no birds flying right now. Last night when I was done hunting, there were a lot of birds flying in the evening. Definitely picked up an action between 2 and dark. But I was pretty exhausted yesterday, and I don't know if I'm going to stay that long today. I've got to save my energy for the whole week. So we'll see how today goes. So there's not a lot of ducks around today, but there are quite a few geese. And this is some of the only open water I would imagine around here. And I'm glad I brought these goose decoys in because they work for both ducks and geese. Got some floaters. Sleeper shells work really good in the cold. Got some full body resters, a couple sentries. And it's definitely been working. I mean, look at that right there. When it gets cold like this, geese love to roost up on these sandbars. And I saw these 3 geese come in from behind me. They went way out over the marsh. I lost them. I stopped calling at them. And then they turned around. I saw them coming again. And I was just giving them clucks. Just like that. Just like over and over and over again with lots of inflection. And they showed some interest. I saw their wings kind of, and then they joined a bigger flock and went out that way, and I kept on them with the clucks, and they turned around and they came over and they bowed up and they lost altitude and they came right over those decoys. And I should have killed all 3 of them, but I dumped 2 of them, and I didn't have time to turn the camera on. They were coming right at me. I didn't want to move. I just wanted to hold still and stay on the call. And but it's been awesome goose hunting over here for sure. I can go home now and be happy with this. Really thankful that my gun shot. It didn't this morning again on a mallard that swam in. I took it apart, I worked the action, put it back together, and then I kept it bundled in my wool, hopefully to keep it warm. And when I pulled up on that first goose, fired and cycled like a champ. So, see if we can get some more. Maybe go for 4 and then get out of here. The main flight hasn't even happened yet. So, it is 9:30. And I'm already done on Canada geese. This is the 2nd limit I've killed at this location in my career. These 2 here decoyed the first 2. But these next 2 just made the mistake of flying over really low. They were in a group leaving, and they were probably 30 yards right over the top of me. Overhead shots. This one here, I can't believe he's still alive. He shouldn't be. I shot him in the head. Just finished up like that. I don't know if I'm going to stick around for the ducks. I might hang out for a few more hours and see if I can get any. But I kind of want to get out of here because there's a lot of geese flying around and I'm done. And I'd like to come back again this trip, see if I can have a repeat of this. I just feel like there's a lot of new northern geese, fresh migrants in the area right now. They seem pretty dumb, pretty callable, even though these ones here didn't even call. It's awesome. I love getting a limit of gronks. There it is, full limit of Canada geese in frozen conditions, small moving water. 2 of them came in decoying to the call. 2 of them were neither coming nor going, just flying over too low. Got to capitalize on every situation. Decoys are picked up, and now it's time for the long trudge out of here. See what happens tomorrow. Really downsized on my decoys today. Didn't really feel like working that hard. It's very cold out. So I have a couple pairs of mallards. They are paired up, you know, not too many mallards for sure around at this spot. Got a couple more pairs over there. It's just a braided section of the water. And then out there along that outer edge, I've strung out a bunch of green-winged teal decoys. And with the heavy north wind behind me, this was actually a pretty good setup. I don't even think it's 8 o'clock yet, and I'm done. I knew hunting here I'd get a bunch of teal today. That's kind of why I came. Green-winged teal are actually probably the second, maybe even the first, best tasting duck for sure. So if you get a bunch of them, pluck them, put them in a big stew pot and cook about 8 to 10 of them all at once. Feed your whole family. So good. The cold streak continues, but the hunting remains hot for sure. The humidity today, 1%, maybe even 0. There's no moisture in the air. So the water droplets on these ducks, as soon as they were, dead, water droplets were freezing on them. Everything's freezing instantaneously. So it's just crazy, crazy conditions. A lot of birds of prey flying around. Crazy conditions, but it makes for some of the best waterfowling you could ever imagine. So I'm glad I could get done early today and go sit in a warm room because I think I'm getting a cold. Throat's getting a little sore. Days and days of hunting in weather like this definitely takes a toll on you. So, gotta save my strength. Hopefully we can go back out and do it again. Hopefully the conditions continue to stay cold. Here's a closer look at the fowl from today. Couldn't ask for a better specimen of Drake mallard. The pairs of mallard decoys worked on that. He came in with a hen. I saw his ring neck, took him out. And the rest of them, red-headed green wings. Lots of teal, definitely today. Did not capitalize on every opportunity, but I know getting out of here early, they'll come back and use it. So it'll ensure good hunting in future days. Sarah is hunting with us today. And she brought the snow with her. As if there wasn't enough winter weather. I think it's about to start winter blustering pretty good here. Very hazy skies. Very gray and cold. It's not supposed to last all day though.
Supposed to be greeted with a heavy north wind again today when this is all over with. So hopefully we get into some birds. The winter weather continues. It is snowing I don't know, first it was small flakes, then very large ones, and now it's back to small ones again. And it's just making for a nice action-packed hunt. What happened with that duck?
That was a fun, far shot.
What do you think of today, Sarah?
It's been insane. It's been super crazy. Whew. Finally turned my shooting on. Alright, here's some stuff.
The snow was supposed to stop a couple hours ago, but it just keeps persisting. It's very, very good winter hunting conditions, and definitely a late season hunt. I always love using goose decoys for mallards. It definitely worked today. We were hunting both geese and ducks. The geese didn't really leave. The ducks, they were all coming back in the morning, and the snow hit at the same time that they were flying back in, and we had flocks and flocks just circling us, working these goose decoys, and we pounded them into the dirt today. Icebox mallards, Eastern Washington style. It doesn't get any better than this. Glad Sarah came over and hunted.
That was a great hunt.
That's all she has to say is, it was a great hunt. It was a great hunt. Great shooting. Oh, the greenheads finally arrived today. I wasn't really sure if there were any around. I knew they were here. You know, just haven't been seeing too many of them. And we sure got into them today like no other. And here is a close-up of our spread today. I ended up with 7, 2 hens, 5 drakes. Sarah got 4. Definitely could have had more than that if we would have had more hunters, and if Sarah would have probably been on with her shooting a little bit sooner. But can't complain with that. It's awesome. Well, it is New Year's Eve 2021. Tomorrow begins a new year, and Sarah and I are out here trying to kill some ducks on the last day of 2021. The Arctic conditions continue to persist. We've got a strong north wind today. It's very cold, and the ice is still thick enough to walk on. So, just here going to try our luck on an evening shoot and see how everything goes. Got to throw these boats in the water here. There's a couple inches of snow on the ground. That all fell yesterday. We're all set up, ready to close out 2021. Just gonna load this Benelli here, so that's ready to go. Got the sun to our back for the afternoon, so we should be pretty well hidden in the shadows. Got the goose decoys out here and the ducks. Got a pretty good spot. spread. I'll let you check it out here in just a second. One thing I like about hunting in eastern Washington is it's very easy to make a very good hide. Just gather a bunch of tumbleweeds, pile them up around you, get in these grasses and sticks, and you can pretty much disappear very well. The wind's coming just to our back right now, out of the north, pretty strong at times. So here's the decoy spread I kind of got going today. Over there, up against those reeds, it's really calm, out of the wind. So I have the majority of my ducks. They're a little further downwind, but that's just to draw the ducks across our blinds. And then got these gravel bars, sand bars here. There's really no gravel around here. And they are covered with goose footprints. Noticed that when we came through here. And then what sealed the deal to set up here was about a half dozen big Canadas coming in, bowed up into the wind, wanting to be down here on this bank. So there's the goose decoys all ready to go, and those will also work for ducks. Almost slipped there. And then right over here, kind of off to the right, got a lot of teal decoys up in there. They were pretty strong back in that hole when we pulled up. So we'll see how well it works. Fat teal. This might have been the same flock that came over when we were setting up. There was a flock of like 6 that wanted to be here when we first pulled in. We got all set up. I got those goose decoys out. I don't even know what time it is. We're here maybe an hour, and then I saw them coming back really low over the cattails. They were going to land short over there, but I clucked them and moaned right in. I had to go chase one down and finish it off further down the water. I killed 2 outright right there. That was awesome. Should have turned the camera to get it more frontal, but I know one of them got captured on film. He got the approach. I mean, that's only one more, and there's another limit. If I can get it, we'll see what happens here. That was awesome. Happy New Year. Before November started, I needed a new pair of waders, so I went to Old Cabela's and found the last pair of breathables that they had in stock. $300. I bought them. I'm really happy with breathables. I think they're pretty good waders, but this pair has already sprung a bad leak just above the right boot. I've tried patching it 2 nights in a row now, and anybody who's a duck hunter knows the reality of icicle feet, and that's what I got right now. My right foot is really cold. It filled up with water chasing that goose down, and I've had to wring my sock out 3 times now. But then this guy came over, and I dropped him overhead with the last shot. I didn't think he was dead. He landed over there in the cattails, and I went and circled around and looked for him really hard. And then I noticed him. I had stepped over him once already and came back around again. I was expecting him to be alive and well and trying to get away, but he was stone cold dead for sure. And look at that. Just some amazing birds on this hunt. Nice big orange feet. Fat. Nice green head. All the water droplets are freezing instantly on these birds. Slowly picking them off here, one by one. Got about 2 hours left of daylight, so we'll see what else happens. It's been awesome so far. There it is, the last sunset of 2021. A very bright ending to a pretty eventful year. Hopefully 2022 is just as bright as this scene right here. Well, there we have it. 2021 is over, and we're about to start a brand new year. December ended up being a much better month number-wise versus November. But I had to work harder for the birds for sure and start adopting late season tactics, and it's definitely paid off. Conditions like this, the snow, freeze-ups, the ice, the north wind, it's what I wait for. Like, I love it. I love November hunting, but when you get this type of weather here, where it focuses them into certain bodies of water, the hunting can just be dynamite. And I'm glad that I got to end the year on a great note. A triple on geese out of a flock that came into this sandbar. Should have had more ducks, but I was just very glad to be here on this day. That means tomorrow's New Year's Day, a brand new year, and the last month of waterfowling is about to begin. Got to get out there and make it happen. There's only 5 weekends left, and it goes by really quick. Get out there and get them while you can before it's too late, and you got to wait another 9 months for October to roll around 2022. It's getting really cold out. My feet are icicles. It was just an amazingly beautiful evening, a beautiful sunset, amazing colors. don't want to go home. Want to stay out here forever for sure, but you can't. The conditions are against you. All right, let's pick up these decoys and get out of here. And here's one final look at the birds obtained today. 3 Canada geese out of 1 flock. Nice overhead drake mallard that I was lucky enough to find. Drake gadwall. That hen bluebill came through last. And a hen green-winged teal. I don't think this madness is going to end, and my fingers are freezing. Look at all the snow geese.